Hi there. Make sure that you're nice and warm. You should have done one of the 3 sunrise stretch, strength, and tone warm-ups or cardio on your own with a little bit of your own warm-up before proceeding on to this workout. So for today's workout, you're going to need a yoga strap and then at least light weights, maybe a heavier weight for biceps. You decide what works for you. And as always, listen to your body. You're the best expert on you. So we're going to start today with a little bit of a front lunge. So I'm going to stand sideways so you can see me. I'm going to put my left foot forward, my right foot behind. Both feet are aiming in the same direction. My left knee, my front knee is going to bend. My right knee is also going to bend, and I'm going to reach toward the earth with my right knee. My left knee is going to stay right over my left ankle. I'm going to do about 10 little pulses here. So this is about 8, 9, and 10. Now I'm going to switch sides. Now you can do this one of a couple of ways. You can either hop or you can just walk or bring your feet back together. So my right foot's in front now and my left leg's behind. Both feet are parallel to each other, and I'm going to take a little dip here, reaching my back leg toward the mat, toward the earth, and my front knee stays right over my front ankle. I'm going to always aim my front knee out away from me, away from the center of my body. This is number 8. I need my metronome and my counter for me. Good. You know I'm not good at that. I'm going to switch sides again. So we're going to come 1 and 2, 3. You guys keep counting. Now I don't have shoes on today. I'm going to suggest you don't do what I'm going to do, right? If you're using weights, I would not be barefoot. I don't want you to break a toe by dropping a weight. Maybe that's just me, but that drops things. We've switched sides. My right leg's in front. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We'll do one more set. Good. Left leg is in front. Right leg behind. Heels lifted. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's hold this one and stay down low in about 6 little pulses. Good job. Come on up. We'll switch sides. My right leg's in front. Left leg behind. I come into that lunge. I had a balance pose too. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold it down low. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little pulses. Come to face forward along edge of your mat, and we're going to take a side lunge. I'm going to have my feet parallel to each other so I don't have a turnout like a duck foot. And I'm going to lean over. So in this case, my left knee bends as my right leg extends. I get a stretch on the inside of this long leg. I'm going to come up. My chest stays nice and long and lean into it. Now my hands are on my knee, but I'm not holding myself up. Right? You should be able to hold yourself up. Good. We're going to float up and over and up and over. Hang out and take that little bit of a stretch. Right? The long leg is that stretch. The left leg gets some strength building. We're going to do 2 more on each side. Here's number 1. Notice and see if one side's tighter than the other. It usually is. Good. All right, come on up. Let's bring our arms up and we'll float forward, just halfway forward, so that our spine is parallel to the floor. Good. Now heel toe, walk your feet back together with a long spine, stand on up. I'm going to turn my back to you. We're going to do the handcuff drill. So we'll do about 8 or 10 of these, and then we'll intersperse it with something else. So I'm going to take my hands with my thumbs up. I'm going to reach up, touch behind my hand, like the police are here to arrest me. Maybe for bad quality video, I don't know. And then hands come behind, so palms face out. My elbows are bent. Reach up and over and down and behind. Up and over behind your head, down and behind. I'm going to turn sideways now. So I want you to notice that your head should not be coming forward. I'm going to do a bad example. Right? So my head is as if it's stacked right on top of my shoulders. Well, I'm talking about shoulders. If you have shoulder issues, modify this so that it feels right for your body. If something does not feel right, then you're not going to do that. All right, I'm going to grab my lightweight. So remember in the intro, I showed you I had 1 pound sandbags. That's what I'm going to use today. You'll use whatever's right for you, and if you need to do one side and then the other, just stop the tape or video, the recording, and then come back. So we're going to work shoulders in multiple different ways. In case you didn't figure, it's a lot of quads today and some shoulder work. Biceps are also on deck. So I'm going to take my palms with my weights in them. My hands face my thighs. I'm going to bring my arms out to a T. Now just about shoulder height, no higher. And then I'm going to bring them forward, and I'm going to bring them up, down, out, down. I'm going to turn sideways, and we'll do that again. So from sideways, my palms face my thighs. My light weights, in this case my 1 pound weights, are in my hand. I'm going to bring my hands out like I'm Frankenstein. Whoops, that was a bloop. So I'm going to bring my arms out to a T first. Good. Now I bring them forward like I'm Frankenstein. Now overhead, down, T, and release. Good. So palms face my thighs out to a T. Bring them forward like Frankenstein. Overhead, back to Frankenstein, back to T, and release. I'm going to turn back forward. Up. Out to a T. Forward like Frankenstein. Overhead, down, T, and release. Out to a T. Forward. Overhead, in front, T, release. 2 more. T, forward, overhead, front, T, release. T, forward, overhead, forward, T, release. Good. Now keep both of those weights in your hands. We're going to add one more thing here, and then we'll repeat that whole sequence. So I'm going to start with my right hand. It looks reverse in your video, but trust me, I'm not talking menopause. This is my right hand. I'll put my right hand on somewhere between my left hip and my left lower rib. And then I'm going to reach it up at a diagonal where the wall and ceiling meet, and then back. Reach it up. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to lead with my elbow. 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, now we're going to go to the other side. So we're going to, my left hand is over by my right lower rib or my right hip, and I'm going to reach up and across. That's 1. Up where the wall and ceiling meet, that's 2. You can use a can too. 3, a 1 pound can. 4, or bigger if you need it. 5, if you are a bigger body stature, or a man with a little more muscle mass than most women, you can use a heavier weight. For most of us, a 1 pound is fine, and you can make this movement, this is our last one, without a weight. All right, that last one was sloppy. Don't imitate me. All right, I'm going to do that handcuff drill again. So we're going to bring our hands up and behind, and now down and behind. Palms out. Palms face the head when I'm up and over, and palms face away when I'm down and behind. All right, and this is 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, I'm going to grab my light weights again. I'm going to see if I can do this in the correct order. So I'm up to a T, forward, overhead, forward, T, and down. That's 1. T, forward, overhead, forward, T, and down. That was 2. T, forward, overhead, forward, T, down. 3. Here we go for 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, getting tired. Those little rotator cuff muscles don't need much weight to stress them. So again, weight in my right hand. My right hand is over by my left hip. I'm going to reach up at a diagonal. Lead with the elbow. 2. Top of the shoulder for this one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and last one, last side, left side. So left hand is by my right hip. Here's number 2. 3, aim where the wall and ceiling come together. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job. All right, next I'm going to take my heavy weight. We're going to do some biceps. So I'm going to do one side at a time, just on the off chance you only have one set of weights. If you have 2 sets of weights, you can do them both at the same time. So my palm face forward, and my elbow is going to stay by my side. I'm going to come up, and let's do a slow count today. Up for 2 and down for 2. And up for a 2 count and down for a 2 count. I'm going to keep going. I'm counting with my finger, with my hand, like a kindergartner counts. So remember, you have to add your own music to this, because I can't play music and put it on YouTube. So find a peppy music, like about 118, 120 beats per minute for lifting portion, your slower movements. Good. Time to switch sides. Left hand, weight, left elbow right by your left hip. We're going to come up. Now, if you need a challenge, you could always stand on one foot too. It's harder if you're barefoot, but again, I wouldn't be barefoot and using a weight. I have been known to drop something on my toe and break it. Your big toe won't break, but and the toe next to it wouldn't, but the pinky toe is what usually takes the brunt of things. All right, last one. All right, we're going to go to the other side, right side. And lift for a 2 count and release for a 2 count. So if we take our time coming back to the start position, I'll highlight it here on this next one. In this movement, as I move back down to where I started, we get that eccentric challenge. Often that makes us more sore than the concentric. So here's the concentric movement back up. For the bicep, it's up, and then eccentric is back down. All right. We have this one and 3 more. Up for 2 and down for 2. Up for 2 and down for 2. Last one. All right, I'm going to trade sides. Weight in my left hand. Now don't torque yourself either. Make sure you're fully, if you're standing on 2 feet, make sure you're fully grounded on 2 feet. Don't list to one side. All right, if you're listing, your weight's too heavy. All right, 2 count up, 2 count down, and up, and down, and up, and down. I hope you have some fun music on, or your favorite music. And down. I've been aware as I've been in the house that I really need to stimulate myself with music and pretty things and pretty fragrances and things that taste good. Last one. Good. All right, I'm going to set that heavy weight down now. All right, let's do a little cool down, a little yoga-like movement before we make our way to the mat. So you don't necessarily need your mat right this second if you have shoes on. If you don't have shoes on, you can do this part on your mat. All right, so we're going to start facing, I'm going to turn to my left with my left leg in front, and my right leg is behind me. Now, my left foot, my toes are aiming toward the short edge of my mat, and my right foot, my toes are aiming at the right front corner of my mat. If my right foot was in a clock face, it would be aiming at about 1 o'clock. If I was using percentages for angle, I'm at about 12 or 15% angle as related to my front leg and my back leg, right? So if my front leg's at 90, this back leg is at about 12%. So I'm going to bring my left arm in front of me and my right arm behind me. Both are long, and I'm stretching out long. I'm going to keep both legs straight. I'm going to glide forward, and I'm going to float my left hand down toward the inside of my left leg and my right arm up, and I'm going to use some tension on this left hand against my left thigh and open my chest up. This is one of those poses that's good for osteoporosis. Good. So I'm going to just hang out here for a second in case you need to get yourself in position. Now I'm going to bend my front knee, my left knee. I'm going to bring my right hand to my right thigh, and my left hand turns palm up and comes up and over. Good. So reverse. I'm going to straighten my front leg. Both hands come out long. I'm going to glide forward. I'm going to come down to that triangle and open my chest. I'm going to use that bit of leverage. Good. And now I'm going to come back to reverse. Good. I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to glide forward. I'm going to open myself up to a triangle. I'm going to bend my knee. I'm going to float it back. All right, now we're going to add a little dynamic challenge. I'm going to rotate my right foot so that both my feet are parallel to each other. I'm going to bring my arms up overhead. If you want a calf stretch, set your back heel down. If you don't have that flexibility to be able to set your heel down, if I said that wrong, set your right heel down for a calf stretch. If you don't have that ability, it's all right. Come up on your tiptoes. We're going to come up into a chest opener. Good. Now from here, I'm going to side bend over my left hip. Nice. Come on up, and I'm going to side bend over my right hip. Good. We're going to do that one more time. Side bend over my left, up and over, side bend over my right, up and over. Good. Release your hands to your low back, interlace them. The tighter your palms come together, the more challenge or more openness here. We're going to open the chest. I'm going to lift my hands off my hip, and I'm going to look up. Good. I'm going to release my hands to my low back. I'm going to release that bind or the clasp of my hands. I'm going to come to face forward. I'm going to reach out long here in a starfish. My toes are turned out. Good. And now I'm going to reach my right hand over my left and come back. My hips stay facing forward. And now my left hand comes over my right. Good. We'll do that one more time. To the right. Do a little upper back rotation here. All right, now I'm going to turn to face my right. So my right foot is aiming toward the short edge of my mat, and my left foot is turned out again in that 12-degree angle, or now it's at 11 o'clock, or now it's aiming at the front left corner of my mat. My right arm is out front, my left arm is behind me. I'm reaching long, trying to create a long wingspan. I'm going to glide forward. I'm going to float my right hand down on the inside of my right thigh, open my chest. Good. I'm going to bend my front leg. I'm going to put my left hand on my left thigh. I'm going to reach my right arm up, and I'm going to reverse it. Good. Straighten that front leg. Glide and down. Good. Bend and up. Good. We're going to do that one more time. Glide forward. Triangle. Open your chest. Good. Bend. Come up and reverse it. Good. Come back along. Bring your left hand forward. We're going to come into Warrior One. For those of you who do yoga, back heel is lifted, feet are parallel here. Good. Now, right knee is bent, left leg is long. Side bend over your right side and come up and over, and side bend left. Get that side body. Over to the right. and up and over to the left. Good. That distance between your legs should be about your inseam. Interlace your hands. Palms closer is more challenging. Lift your hands off your hips. Good. Look up. Open that chest. Good. Let's bring our arms up. And now I'm going to rotate. We're going to take that starfish one more time. Reach over, legs stay long. Reach right. Reach left. Hips stay forward. Reach right. Good. All right, let's do a little balance. So shoes off, probably for balance if you haven't already taken them off. More challenging, hard surface, easier for balance than a squishy surface. So carpeting, if you're on carpeting with your mat on top, going to be a little more challenging. So if you feel like things aren't the same as they are in the classroom when we're together, that might be one of your issues. So I'm going to weight myself on my left leg. I'm going to bring my right leg out in front. And I'm going to lift my right leg in front of me and lift it. We're going to do 3 of these on each position. And now I'm going to go straight out to the side, lift, and I'm going to try not to lean over, right? I'm just going to lift. It might not be able to lift very high. And 3. Good, now I'm behind me. 1, 2, and I'm going to transition myself here so you can see that I'm not going to lean forward when I'm doing this. I'm just going to come right behind and lift. Good. I'm going to do this set for my left leg facing in this direction. So grounded on my right leg, I'm going to shift my hips ever so slightly to my right so that my center seam on my pant is right over the inside of my right ankle. So leg out in front, long. Works the front of the thigh too to lift in this way. Now we can work the outer thigh all while balancing. 1, out to the side, 2, 3. Now we work the glutes and the hamstring, right? Here's the glute, hamstring is here. And 1, 2, 3. Good. All right, let's add a little bang for our buck, shall we? I'm going to come into a position that we were just in. My left leg is going to be forward. My right leg is going to be behind. I'm going to bend my left knee. My right leg is long. I'm going to put my arms up overhead. Now, we're going to come into a big sort of Tada balance challenge. So I'm going to lean my chest forward and put my weight onto my left leg. As I do so, I'm going to pick up my right heel and shift the weight off of my right foot. I'm going to float my right leg up. Good. Hips should be level. Nice. And then come on back down. Let's do it one more time on this side. So my arms are up. My right heel is lifted. My left knee is bent. I'm going to start to bring my hands down closer toward they were sliding down the wall in front of me. And I'm going to shift my weight forward onto my left leg as my right heel picks up. Good. Make sure your hips are level. Leg out long. You guys are amazing. Good. Set it all back down. And let's switch sides. So left leg behind, right knee bent. Heel is lifted on my right leg. Arms come up. Good. Now I'm going to start to pick up my left heel a little bit, shifting the weight onto my right leg as my right arms. If my fingertips were on the wall, it's as if they're gliding down the wall closer to the floor. And then lift that left leg. One side's always better than the other. And then come on back down. Sometimes it's hard for me to talk in balance. So, left heel's lifted. Shift my weight from my left foot to my right as my hands start to float down. Glide my hands close so that my arms and chest are parallel to the floor. Lift that left leg behind, level out your hips. Good, and come on back down. Nice. Let's come to goalpost with your arms. And from here, I'm going to turn sideways. So when I'm at goalpost, my elbows and my shoulders are in line with each other. I'm going to turn sideways. Feet hip distance apart, facing forward. I'm going to open my chest up as if I'm gazing at the stars. And then come on back up. Release your hands to your low back. Open the chest. take one more. Arms at goal post. Open the chest. Good. And release your hands to the low back. Take a bind, palms face away. Open the chest. Good. Release your hands. All right, we're going to come down to our hands and knees. We'll start with a little core, and then we'll add on from there. So hands are going to be right underneath our shoulders. Our fingers are splayed wide, as if I'm going to push the earth away from me. My belly is lifted, right? Like I'm going to button my belly button to the front part of my spine. My tailbone, or the crown of my head and my tailbone are all in one line, right? Maybe you could eat your lunch off my back, and then you're going to tuck your toes. And from here, we're going to lift our knees, just enough to slide a credit card underneath your knees. We're going to hang out here. The longer you hang out, obviously, the harder it is, right? So I'm going to count about 5 more seconds. But you know I don't count very well, so maybe it'll end up to be 10. I don't know, maybe it'll be 15. If you're working this one on your own, aim for a good minute, a minute and a half. All right, set your knees down. Untuck your toes. Press back for a child pose. If you have one of the O's, osteoporosis, osteopenia, separate your knees and let your chest fall between your knees so that spine can stay nice and long. All right, come back up. Knees right back underneath your hips like they were a minute ago. Hands right underneath your shoulders. Pick up your right leg so that it's at a 90-degree bend at the knee. Now, I'm going to lower my knee toward the mat, and I'm going to lift it. I'm working the glutes. I'm going to point to the glutes here. Good, and the hamstring. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Try not to change the shape of your spine. Keep going. I didn't forget you. We're going to do this one and one more. Good. If you need a wrist break, take it. I'm going to sort of counter pose my wrist. So, and we'll come back down, hands underneath your shoulders. Now I'm going to pick up my left knee. Hips are level. And I'm going to lower my left knee toward the mat and then lift it. Good. Lower and lift. Working the back of the hamstring. Imagine you're trying to capture a pencil in that little crease right here where your hip, your buttock, and your thigh come together. Keep going. Lift and lower. Don't throw it up there. Imagine your foot could touch the ceiling. Get a little bit of a hip opener on the front side with this one too. This one, and we're going to do 2 more. 1 and 2. Take a child pose again, knees wide. If your shoulders don't like your arms being overhead, bring them around by your side body. Rest your forehead if you're comfortable. When you're ready, come on back up. We've got one more thing to do here, and then we're going to make our way all the way down to the mat. We're going to take that knee hopper one more time. So really press the earth away. I'm going to point to a spot between my back. I want you to imagine you can push up here toward the ceiling. We don't want this to get saggy. We don't want chicken elbow wings back here. All right, here we go. Lift your knees and keep breathing. Belly's lifted. Tailbone and crown of the head are in one line. You're doing awesome. Did you ever watch Romper Room? Was her name Miss Lois, and she would pick up her magic mirror and say, I see you, Don and Debbie and Elizabeth and Sherry. And lower your knees. Come all the way back down. And Sue. I should have put my class roster out. Next time I do that, I'll call out some of the rest of you. All right. We'll come on down to our side. So I'm going to be on my right hip with my right knees in line with my hip. My heels are behind me. This is the more advanced version. So here's where we're going to go into this clamshell. Here, if that doesn't feel right for you, bring your knees forward so your heels are in line with your hips. So if I were to draw a line, here's my hip, here's my heels. My knees are way out front. I'm going to do the other version. So knees, hips in one line. So my front of my hips are open. It's a nice stretch. Again, if we've been seated too long. Open, heels stay together and close. Open and close. Open and close. We work the outside of the glutes here. That outside segment of the hip. And open and close. Nothing else changes. And this is all nice and active. I'm going to do about 5 more. There's no sagginess here. I'm going to exaggerate sagginess. 4 and 5. Good. Now bring your legs out long to the front right corner of your mat. Now I am going to lift my heel of my bottom leg. So I'm on my right side. My right elbows are underneath my right shoulder. This is a nice sturdy angle. And then my right heel is lifted. Pinky toes on my right foot are rooted in the mat. I'm going to take my top leg. I'm going to make a rainbow shape. So I'm going to big toe in front of me, rainbow up and over my bottom leg behind me with my heel. So toe in front, heel behind. If you want more challenge, pick up that heel, pick up your top hand. So hand could be here or here. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Good. All right, I'm going to transition to the other side. So I'm going to be my right elbow, that space underneath me. This is a nice sturdy angle. I work the obliques here too, right? Those muscles on our torso that rotate us. So elbows right underneath the shoulder, and my knees are in line with my hips. So again, if I were to draw a line from my knee all the way up through my ear, crown of my head, one long straight line. The alternate easier version, heels in line with the hips so that my knees are in front of my body. I'm going to go to the more challenging version. My heels are going to stay together. And lift. Good. Again, working the outside of those glutes. 3. Chest is facing forward. 5, 6, 7. Make sure you can breathe. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now I'm going to extend my legs toward that front corner of my mat, the corner I can see, not the one behind me. I'm going to lift the heel of my left leg. This still stays nice and active. You don't want to get like this where we're in a shoulder area, and you want everything nice and lifted. All right, heel is lifted. Pinky toe of my left leg is on the mat. I'm going to lift my top leg, my right leg. Toe in front, heel behind. And 2. Rainbow up and over. The cow jumped over the moon. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Alrighty. Now, grab your light weights one more time here. I think we'll be done with them. We're on the home stretch. So grab your light weights. Come to lie on your back. We're going to do a little bit of chest movement. I'm going to stay with my knees bent, and I'm going to imprint my spine. Now, if you want more of a challenge, extend your legs up long, or you can even lower them away from your body, right, closer to the floor, more challenging. But whatever you do, keep that spine imprinted on the mat. I'm going to stay here. All right, so I'm going to take my palms of my hands with my weights in them, and my palms face each other. And my hands are at my shoulder height, are slightly below them. So I don't want to be here, right? All right, I'm going to open Don't touch the mat, the floor, hover over it and close. And open and close and open and close. Open, close, open, close. You've got this. We're going to do 10. Take it slow and controlled. 9. Open slowly. 8. Take that 2 count. 7. 6. 5. If you're getting tired, bend your elbow. 8. 4. 3. 2, in case you didn't figure it out. Sometimes I forget if I'm counting up or down. All right, that was number 1. All right, now we're going to do leg lowers. I'll do the version for osteoporosis, osteopenia, one of the O's first. So I'm going to put my hands down on either side of my body. I'm going to keep my spine imprinted. So I'm kind of an upside down V-shaped. I'm going to inhale, lower my right leg down toward the mat. Exhale, bring it back up. Here's the other side, lower and lift. Don't touch down at the end. All right, here's the one. If you don't have osteoporosis, osteopenia, hammock your head, lift it. Keep your spine imprinted. Inhale, lower, exhale up. Inhale, lower, exhale up. And lower and lift. It's like a relay race. One can't take off till the other one comes back home. The lower your leg comes to the mat while your spine is still imprinted, the more challenging it becomes. We're going to do 2 more. Last one, each side. Bring your knees into your chest. Maybe give yourself a little hug, a little rock to and fro. All right, we're going to come back to that fly. All right, arms up and open. And close. Open for 2 count. And close. And open. And open. And open. All right, here we go. And 10. 9. 8. 7. And 6. 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, set those weights aside. We're done with those for the time being. I'm going to do the osteoporosis version of these leg lifts. If you did the other version before, that's fine. So I'm going to put my arms out. I'm going to lower and lift. And other side, lower, lift. Spine stays imprinted. Inhale, lower, exhale, return. Inhale, lower, don't touch down. Exhale, return. And lower, return. If you haven't figured it out, I know you did though. This is abs, right? Hip flexors, abs. Low abs. Upper abs if your head's lifted. We're on the home stretch. If you flex your ankle while your leg's up, you'll get a little bit of a bonus hamstring / low back stretch. If you don't need that, then extend your ankles. Remember, one leg has to roost back home before the other one can go. If you have SI joint disease, don't do this one. I'm sorry I didn't warn you ahead of time. All right, bend your knees into your chest, rock side to side. All right, I'm going to grab my yoga strap or your TheraBand or a belt or an old tie. Whatever you have at home that you can make do with. I'm going to put that weight or that strap over my right foot. I'm going to hold it in my right hand. I'm going to extend my left leg. And then I'm going to just lower that right leg toward the mat and bring it back up. I'm going to flex my toes or my ankle this time. Here's our last one. I'm going to lower and lift. And now I want you to pull on that strap. Reach out through the heel of my right leg. Try to make this right leg as long as possible. Now, if you have to have a bend in your leg, then move the leg away from you and then straighten. Right? Don't worry where you're at. Don't worry about the destination. Worry about moving forward. If that makes any sense. So I'm going to pull my leg up here, My spine is imprinted. My toes are pulled toward my nose. And I'm going to put a little tension. I'm going to pull this thigh toward my chest. I'm going to hold that for about 8 breaths. The body has sort of an emergency brake, a stretch reflex. And it has to warm up to a stretch. It doesn't like to be forced, right? You might be getting shaky here. That's normal. So we have to hold the stretch for at least 35 seconds, usually 45 seconds, in order to sort of overcome that emergency brake, that stretch reflex. Good. Bring your knee into your chest. Bring the other leg up and slide it in. Good. Glide your right leg long. Left foot is in the strap. Hold on to the strap and lower the leg toward the mat and bring it back up. And lower it. We're using 2 different kinds of stretches here. This one activates the front part of the thigh to tell the back part, hey, I want you to lengthen. And then this other one, again, I'm going to talk about where this leg is. If your knee has to be bent, then come down to a place where your leg can be straight and start here. And then I'm going to move my leg because I have a little more flexibility maybe, at least right now. And then I'm going to bring my toes toward my nose. When I do that, I open up this muscle. I lengthen it. And I'm not going to lock my knee, right? This should be pretty straight. Maybe instead of 180 degrees, it's 178 degrees. I'm going to put tension on that strap. I'm going to pull this left thigh toward my left chest. Again, I'm going to hold this for about at least 30 seconds, preferably closer to 45. If you're getting shaky already, I apologize. Sometimes you know I talk too much. So, keep breathing. If you're wherever stretching and there's a place that feels tight, put your breath there. Imagine you could breathe into it. All right, good job. Bring that left knee into your chest. Bring your left knee toward your left armpit/shoulder, and your right toward your right armpit shoulder. Good. Alrighty, set your feet down on the mat in line with your sits bones for the minute. Cross your right ankle over your left. Your right knee aims away from you. Pick up your left knee, push your right knee away from you. So I got that push-pull happening, that opposition. Left knee in, right knee away. Here's that stretch reflex coming into play again, right? I need a good 30 to 45 seconds. Keep breathing. If you can't breathe, you're working too hard. It doesn't matter if you're doing cardio or stretches. Right? You should be able to breathe. Release that. Uncross. Right foot comes down, left ankle over right knee. Aim the left knee away. Pick up your right knee. As you pull it in toward you, push your left knee away. You all know both sides don't ever work the same. Good. Keep breathing. Focus that breath. So this is a nice stretch for sciatica, for the hip in general. Good. Here we go. 2 more breaths. Nice. Release. Set your feet on the mat, but make your feet far apart, like at the edges of your mat. I'm going to bring my arms out to a T with my palms up. I'll get a little bit of chest openness here. I'm going to float my knees over to my left side as I exhale. I'm going to hang out here for a second. I'm going to float it up. We get more hip movement, right? Over to the right. And up and over. And up and over. And up and over. And up and over. Alrighty, one last thing, a little twist. Bring both knees up to tabletop so that your shins are parallel to the floor. Float everything over to your left as you exhale. Keep this small, especially if you have one of the O's. Up and over, keep it small. Your palms are up and your shoulder blades stay rooted into the mat. Last one. Good. Bring both knees into your chest. If this is comfortable for you, stay here. All right, everybody, let's take a nice deep breath in together. And exhale, blow it out loudly. All right, you ready for one more? We're going to roar this time. I'm so proud of you. Here we go. Inhale and exhale, roar. Ah. Well done, everybody. Well done.